Hey, pop girlies. I have a question for you guys. Have you heard the rumors?
Mm.
Well, when you stay rumors, you don't gotta get rumors.
Wait,
You mix the rue with the mers, and it's just good.
Yeah.
no.
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 No, I was responding. I was like, no, I haven't heard the rumors.
Uh,
I only have
you
heard
answered
facts.
the question after two other sentences had been spoken.
Yep, yep, exactly.
I was about to be like, not you starting this off with Stevie Shade.
No,
Girl, you'll have the 75-year-old gays coming after you.
yeah, I don't need that. I'm already a kitty cat.
Uh,
What
Is
is
it a
okay?
target for the 75-year-old gay men community?
That's every community.
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 Community. Well, Chapel's fighting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Community.
That's it. If you know, you know, pop girly.
that's it. That's
That's an
a
inside joke. Yeah.
IY. Yeah.
Uh,
You were almost there. I got what you're saying.
there's
Oh,
Whoa.
speaking.
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to? Did I ruin the reveal?
Well, we had it.
well, we had it.
So, pop girlies, this is installment 2 of Auguest, and as you noticed, we have a unfamiliar, beautiful little spirit of a voice coming at you.
Yes.
This
Wow.
is a dear friend of Drew and I's from college, um, who we love very, very much, and is a fellow Swiftie. Is a Harry Styles fan, so that made the Renaissance episode
Yeah, very
a
awkward.
little
Wait,
awkward.
what are his fans called?
Harry's.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Harry's fans. What are they
Yeah,
called?
that's what they're
Oh, she
called.
just said Harry's. That's what they're
Like
called.
Harries.
Oh my God, that's
That's what.
It's
wow.
not good.
That's so stupid.
Okay.
I mean, there's dumber ones, I think.
I don't think
I
anything
mean, yeah.
it is Levotic. I think that is the. If I had to go around saying I was a Levotic, I would just walk into incoming traffic on Michigan Avenue. It is the stupidest name. And I'm sorry, but honestly, if you're a Demi Lovato fan, you shouldn't be listening to this. Get off.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't even know that that's who it was for. I didn't know what you were like. I
oh,
didn't know.
Levotic was just like a random person.
I was like, is this
Levotic
something
is for Christina
that
Perry.
I don't know about?
Yeah, Christina Perry.
Well, anyways, this is Irene. Yay!
Yay!
Sorry for ruining the reveal.
No, it honestly made it funnier.
I'm a very big Tyler Oakley fan, so the whole August thing is like I love it.
Love.
I love
Do you have a favorite guest episode of Tyler Oakley? Like real quick.
Yes, 100% absolutely is the one with Zoella where they do the Disney Music Challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Disney Challenge. Yeah.
Answer and like Zoella, if you're listening to this,
Oh, she's such a pop girly, I bet. Zoella.
I know she's a pop girly. I love her.
You want to know what I feel like as a pop girly? Mamrie Hart.
I love Mamie Hart.
Mamrie Hart has listened to the Jeff
Oh my God.
Buckley episode 9 times.
I love her.
Yeah.
Maria, do you not know who Mamrie Hart is?
No.
Oh, iconic. Is she lesbian?
I don't think so.
That is
I
shocking.
totally forgot about her. She was great.
She's so cool.
I'll watch her again.
She was like with like Hannah Hart and like
Mamie Hart and
Grace.
Grace,
What was her last name?
and then Tyler Helbig, Grace Helbig,
That's right.
Oh, Grace
Oh.
Helbig, loved. Oh my God.
who reminds me so much of Mary Beth Barone, who's like
Yeah.
having a moment.
Yeah. I see that. I see that for you.
You see that for me, but okay.
Well,
Okay,
should we
it's getting hot.
hot tracks before we start talking about some rumors?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Irene, as our special guest of honor.
Yeah, you get to go first.
Am I going first? Oh my God. Well, first of all, I would like to say that I know Alex Oishi claims he's the #1 pop girly stan, and I won't take that away from him, but I'll put that on the #2. So
Who's number 1, I'm number 2.
I'm happy to be #2 to Alex Oishi. But okay, hot track. So, as Levi mentioned, I'm a huge Swiftie, and Miss Taylor Swift, and I knew we were going to talk about it, just announced, well, at the time we're recording this, announced yesterday she's going to be releasing a new album, The Life of a Showgirl. And so, because of this, there's rumors going around that it's Max Martin who's doing all like the production on it. And my favorite Taylor album is 1989. So I've been in like a 1989 kick today. And my favorite Taylor song of all time is Style, which is also a Max Martin song, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
Ah,
really awkward if it wasn't.
Yeah, it is.
So I was on the treadmill this morning. And while I was fighting for my life on the treadmill, I was playing Style like on loop. And so I feel like my hot track would have been something different until that album announcement came out last night. But that to me is like the perfect pop song. And it's a perfect hot track to bring to pop girlies. So if you haven't listened to Style by Taylor Swift, first of all, how
so
dare
awesome.
you?
I
First of
can't
all,
imagine
How are you
somebody
alive?
listening to this podcast who hasn't
and never
heard
hearing
Style
Style
by
by
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
my hot track.
are, how have you found us? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay,
see
wait. Question I have
Yeah.
for the culture. So, we of course update our Pop Girlies Hot Tracks playlist on a weekly basis. So, question as a non-Swiftie, do now that she owns her music, do
Girl,
I
put on the
need to
stolen
use
version.
I can use the
Girl,
original
put on the
version?
stolen version.
Okay.
It's better. I'm
Yeah.
to
The
admit it.
stolen's way
Style Taylor's
better.
version is botched.
It's not even the stolen version anymore. It's hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you call like the rebot
You just call it
version?
like the original?
Yeah, I guess like
Stolen back version.
I don't know, reclaimed. I don't know.
Stolen back.
Well, girl, she didn't steal. She legally
Yeah,
dealt
you're right.
with the financial.
Yeah, but like stealing is so much cooler. So I think that we should say stolen back. They stole-
She gave some pocket change for her
Yeah,
master's back.
pocket change. That's what she was making on that
No,
tour.
that's a good point, Maria. I feel like, okay, maybe as like a ground rule going forward, maybe like let's default to the OG unless otherwise stated.
Got it.
Because I think there are songs where the Taylor's version is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Like You're Not Sorry, Taylor's version is, and Levi Land.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
bounds above OG.
yeah. I like only listen to Red and Fearless Taylor's version, which is like
Still,
but yeah, I love them so much.
well, okay, yeah. That's what I have to say about that. Is that a good rule, Pop Girlies?
Yeah,
Totally.
that's great.
Irene, pick who goes next.
I'm gonna pass it to my new friend Maria.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, new friend Irene. This is so exciting. Okay, so my hot track is going to be a new song from an artist that I've never really listened to before, but I definitely really want to get into because her new album just got like a really great Pitchfork score, and her discography just like seems really interesting, but I've never just like kind of like gotten into it before. So it's a new song off of Amaray's new album Black Star. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I hope I'm saying that right. But the song is Kiss Me Through the Phone Part 2 with Pink Pantheress. And it's really,
Oh
really
girl,
fun.
on your Pink
Oh,
Pantheress gig, mama.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, really good. And it samples the thong song. And it took me a second to like catch on. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like the melody from the thong song.
What's the
So
thong song? I don't know if I know what that is.
But, then what? All night long.
give her
Let
the
me see that thong. You've never heard that song before?
that
It
was
was
a
on Glee.
I
so beautiful.
I
Pitch Perfect. It was in Pitch Perfect.
oh well.
2.
I've
It's
only
a
seen
really
Pitchfork
great
once.
song. And like I can't remember it off the top of my head right now who sings it, but the vocals that are happening on the thong song are like beyond out of this world. Like so spectacular. So like definitely listen to this new track, but then also just like for the fun of it, go listen to the OG thong song because it's like
Yeah.
actually an incredible like bookmark in the history of music, I would say. So there's my hot track.
I love that.
Hey.
So that's very helpful.
She opened for Sabrina Carpenter, I think.
Really
Like on the first leg of the Short and Sweet tour.
good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think the album cover for her album Fountain Baby is so beautiful. Like I like just on the
Oh my God,
album
I
cover
love
alone, I'm like, I need to listen to this. So like I definitely need to prioritize listening to her music 'cause it
Yeah.
just seems so cool. So
I want to get into her. Get into this Amore gig.
yeah.
Oh, I love that cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never listened to her before.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think they gave her new album an 8.8
Oh, wow.
just now. So
I saw that. Yeah, that's really good.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited to get into it. Should I pick or do we want Irene to pick who goes next?
You pick, Maria.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I think Levi, you were like recently just talking about how you never get picked to go first for hot dogs, so I'll pick you.
Out of pity.
Um, yeah, I say that, and then I think, well, never mind. Yeah. So I have had a hard time coming up with my hot track because honestly, so much of what I've been listening to has been this week's album and then next week's album. So it's been hard for me to come up with it. And this is a really late in the game edition, but I was at the gym before we recorded this, and I was listening to one of the greatest albums of all time,
Oh god.
an album that I can't wait to talk about whenever Maria picks it. And it is Born This Way.
Oh,
And at first I want to do Shiza, but somebody's already done Shiza. I think Drew did Shiza. Or was it Maria? One of you.
I think I did it.
Yeah,
I
it was
definitely.
around Coachella.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was Gagachella when that happened.
yeah. I did Garden of Eden, and then I think you did Shiza.
I thought I had done Garden of Eden at a point too.
I thought
I
Marine
mean, it's
did
fine.
Garden of
It's not.
I guess
Yeah.
it's not big.
Oh.
Who knows what anybody has done. But it is on the playlist. And so I can't do that. So what I'm gonna do instead is a song that I think is so underrated and has my favorite Gaga lyrics ever. And it's just so funny, but also I think really moving and crazy. And it's Bad Kids.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't care what people say. We know
We know the truth.
enough is enough of this horse shit. But one of my favorite Gaga lyrics ever is "Don't be insecure if your heart is pure."
Oh, stop.
When I was a depressed high schooler, that was my Twitter bio.
Oh my God, stop. I know I've already said this on the podcast, but like I need to manifest it to like the highest degree that our like closing track for Mayhem Ball is going to be Bad Kids. I want it to be Bad Kids so bad, and I've told every single person I know.
It would be so. Imagine if it's the Mayhem show that none of the pop girlies are at, because you guys are going Monday, I'm going Wednesday. So imagine if it's the Thursday show.
Well,
It would be disgusting.
it would be crazy.
Maria would be over.
But
Maria's over party.
Maria, I kind of am like frothing at the mouth for Born This Way.
Oh my God.
I need us to do it. Like
Yeah, no, we definitely need to.
I need like just imagine the pop girlies content that's gonna come out of talking about that album cover. Do you know the album
Just
cover?
the cover.
Oh
Just
yeah.
the cover. Well, because there's the special edition and then there's the normal edition where you can actually see that she's part of the motorcycle.
I will never forget where I was when I saw that image for the first time. I was in my living room watching the Oprah special with my mom.
Oh my god.
And all of a sudden, an image of her turning into a motorcycle is upon the flat screen television. And
Oh my gosh. It's so good.
I've never had less words, actually.
I was really
Yeah.
surprised that you mentioned Born This Way. When you said like greatest album of all time, like just from experience of being Levi, that could go in so many directions. I thought it was gonna be Madonna, which is why I said oh no, but
Uh,
I love that.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Like, you know what I mean. No, you probably don't know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. What the?
Throwing Madonna shade.
Why are we let's not put two Italian divas against each other.
No,
Pop
it's not no.
the Italian American pop divas.
Oh, not Madonna shade. We love Madonna.
Well, I also think that Levi, you need to share what you put in the group chat because Drew and I were in my hometown this past weekend and we drove past Madonna's house and Levi sent the funniest text of all time.
I did say after just a lot of texts of me freaking out, I did say that it was more important than the Liberty Bell.
And he was right.
And he's
I'm-
right about that.
I mean, only one of those locations birthed the writer of Vogue, and it wasn't the Liberty Bell.
Only one
No.
of those landmarks birthed 40 years of hits.
Literally. Sorry. What is it? Liberty? I'm sorry, the Liberty Bell is also such a Kia monument.
But
Like,
also like,
about the
can
bell.
you really say that Liberty Bell commented on American Life
No,
better than Madonna?
no. I mean, she's more of a revolutionary than the Liberty Bell is.
I
They're
mean,
we're
come
nothing.
on now. Do
So,
I have to change my name?
I mean, the sex book probably made more noise than the Liberty Bell
oh,
ever did.
1000%. Honestly, I think you can make the argument that the sex book is more important than the Declaration of Independence. But
Okay.
Whoa, okay, okay. Whoa.
Now we're getting a little into.
I'm sorry. I don't have a first edition of the Declaration of Independence in my apartment, but I do have the sex book.
Right. We'll get you one of those. We'll get you one of those.
Well, yeah, we'll get you one.
I watched National Treasure. I know.
Okay. Drew.
Okay, so ever since Lollapalooza, I've been in, for the 1 hour that I was there, I've been like in the deepest Gracie Abrams like hole that I think I could possibly have gotten into. And this is from someone who existed as a Gracie Abrams stan in 2021, when like all listening to her was just like getting into a hole because her music was so fucking depressing. But I can't get over it. And I'm so mad um that people are seeing her at fucking Red Rocks right now and I'm not there. Like,
Mhm.
are you fucking kidding? And also this is very timely because Irene and Levi and I in college bonded over being Gracie Girlies. I think that was the name of our group
That was
chat,
the name of our
right?
group chat.
It
Yeah.
was. Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah. But the song I'm like, it just makes me foam at the mouth, is Blowing Smoke right
Heck,
now.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
So there was a really funny story where, well, it wasn't funny, but in after college, Levi did get bit by a dog.
oh, I remember this.
And like literally had to like go get shots
I
for
remember this.
rabies.
There's actually something really funny happened. Levi got bit by
Bit
a
by a
dog.
No,
dog.
I was like, wait, it wasn't funny, but I texted him the
I had
bridge
to have a
to
rabies shot.
Blowing Smoke.
Stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah, I texted him the lyrics to Blowing Smoke. I was like, is this what being rabid was like?
Oh my God.
The rabies shot fucking hurts. Avoid that.
Yes, I
Avoid
can.
wild dogs. That shot does not feel good.
Oh,
And you have to do two of them. You have to like go in like a few weeks later. It is the stupidest. It's horrible. And it was so stupid because it was the stupid little rat dog who was with this disheveled, gross woman. And the woman was just sitting on this. I was coming from a shift at the COVID testing center at the summer after graduating college from Loyola, trying to get a fucking job, hating my life that I was waking up at 5:30 a.m. to go to the college campus and test 5 people for COVID. And I was walking back, trying to have a nice afternoon after being awake since 5 o'clock. And this woman just watches her dog run up to me, bite my leg, and break skin, and then says nothing as I look at her and go, "What the fuck?"
That's
And
so
that's
crazy.
what listening to Blowing Smoke is like.
exactly. And Drew, I have a fun anecdote. Well, first of all, the story you posted of her singing Death Wish,
Oh,
she sounded so good. I watched that
well,
video
you know how the pop girlies feel about Death Wish.
100%. But also the way I found out, like the way I first listened to Gracie, I remember it so vividly because Drew and I worked. I was the soundboard operator. Drew was the operator
Nevertheless, she persisted.
on Loyola University Chicago's dance performance of Nevertheless She Persisted. And we did nothing really. I mean, I had like maybe 3 cues the whole
I
time.
pressed one button.
And Drew pressed like start on the Zoom call. But because of that, like we had to get there still like 3 hours early. And I remember like Drew would play music and you played Rockland. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. That
And
was Levi's dance song.
Yeah, Irene, that was my convert song too because I was a skeptic before, and then I heard rock.
I remember.
Whoa, this
Oh my
just
God. It was literally like so good. And then I remember like Taylor, like,
Yes, Taylor commented on her TikTok.
or something. Yeah. But then also
Yeah.
with Blowing Smoke, Lizzie McAlpine just did a cover of it as well. I don't know.
So good.
So good. So I've been listening to that one a lot too. That's a
Yeah. That was a huge grower for me, Blowing Smoke. It was like kind of bottom tier
that
for
was
me. And
so funny. That was like right away for me. I was like, holy shit.
yeah. Oh, Girl, I think Irene needs to do a cover of Blowing Smoke. I don't know. Chime off in the
Well, Irene's
comments.
gonna do a cover
I'm
of
not
all of our
doing,
#1 songs.
I'm not doing any covers on this show.
Yeah, you are.
Especially because I was practicing this morning. I had a singing day so bad that I like stopped after 5 minutes. I was like, every note coming out of my mouth was so incredibly incorrect. I had to
Oh
like,
my God, don't even.
but you know what I'm talking about? Like, you have days and you're like, it's not
Oh,
happening today.
Well,
No,
the spirit of Pop Girlies will, guide you to the correct melody.
thank
yeah,
you.
we will.
I need it. I need it bad because it was not
Yeah.
good today.
Okay, guys, I think
Yeah,
are we
that
ready?
was a good hot
Are we
track.
ready to gossip about some rumors?
Yeah.
Levi, you're so Tay daughter because every time I always listen to this and like every time you like make these puns, I always think of like, hey Dallas, it's feeling pretty tonight. Some might say gorgeous. And then she like goes into the song gorgeous. Like I think about what Taylor Swift.
Hey, I'm Taylor.
Yeah. I always think like it's feeling fragile. Somebody say delicate, like it makes no sense, and then she goes into it. But yours make a lot more sense than hers does. But it always reminds me of Taylor Swift.
When I had COVID in college, I did when I was like going through psychosis when I was alone in my little tiny room, I did like make 1,000 videos of that trend of like me like starting off with like a random ass topic and then like ending up with introducing a song.
Right. You could bridge the gap.
Me with a
Because
throbbing
that's what you
headache
do
and
when
a
you have
fever,
COVID.
delirious as fuck. I was eating only like soup and like Reese's Pieces.
I remember one time I FaceTimed you during that just to kind of like check up, and you like answered the phone and you were just like on the floor. I was like, girl, get
I
up.
was not well. I was
Get
not
in
well.
bed at least.
For context, Pop Girlies, this was 2 weeks after the events that are discussed in the Dance Fever episode.
For the
And
pop
like 1 week
historians.
before graduating college.
Yeah, no, I completed my last final in isolation.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
Well, anyways, let's
Anyway,
be rumored.
Yay.
hey. Well, yeah, I did my research. Things get messy, so everybody buckle in. Things get so messy with this album. But also please, Levi especially jump in if I miss anything here. So, yeah, so I wanted, first of all, big shout out to, because I'm gonna make them listen to this, my parents, Jim and Mary Phillips. They are pop girlies now. And my dad and I literally listened to Rumors front to back so I could make him figure out his holy trinity and his me. And I shared it with the group chat, but I wanted to shout them out because they're going to be listening. And we love Jim and Mary.
Well, we do, both of them, but specifically, Jim Phillips and I are kind of lucky best friends because we
Yeah.
have the same exact taste in everything.
It's scary.
It's like anytime I tell Irene that I like a movie, Jim also likes the movie.
It's crazy. It's gotten scary to a point.
It is. It is. So shout out Jim. Can't wait
Yeah.
to discuss Anora with you.
But him and I have been talking a ton about Rumors. And actually, like after that, we had decided that we were going to do this for this episode. Him and I had been talking a ton about Fleetwood Mac anyway. So I wanted to shout them out before getting into it. But yeah, so just kind of starting out with like an introduction of like Fleetwood Mac and who they are in general, because obviously they went through a lot of lineup changes before getting into the Fleetwood Mac that ends up on Rumors. So British American rock band. They were originally formed in London, shout out, in 1967. So they were founded by Peter Green. And the band was named after Mick Fleetwood and John McVie. So that's like where it came with the last names of those two. And they end up still being like in the band throughout all the lineup changes. So I feel like that worked out really well. Like that you named the band after two people that ended up staying in it for a long time. So that's like kind of the one main thing. Also want to shout out some of the other members of Fleetwood Mac, even though we're not going to be talking about them. Jeremy Spencer, Danny Kerwin, Bob Welch. If you're listening, shout out to you because you're also important. But anyway, they departed the band for many different reasons by like 1974. So they were left with Mick Fleetwood and John McVie, and they needed like a guitarist and a male singer. So Christy McVie of Songbird fame, love her, rest in peace. She joined on keyboards and vocals. So she was John McVie's wife at the time. And she joined, but they still needed a male guitarist. They needed a singer. So Mick Fleetwood was in LA, and he heard the duo Buckingham Nicks playing in a studio. And the duo was made up of Lindsey Buckingham, who's a guitarist and singer, and his girlfriend at the time, who's a singer as well, Stevie Nicks. Also, shout out Buckingham Nicks, which is being remastered and released on streaming platforms. That was almost my hot track this week. But he heard them singing in a studio, and he went up to Lindsey Buckingham, wanted him to join the band. And Buckingham basically was like, I'm only going to join if my girlfriend gets to join, which honestly, period. So Stevie Nicks also became part of the band, and that's how kind of like the five that we end up with on Rumours: Christy McVie, John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, Lindsey Buckingham, and Stevie Nicks kind of came to be. So adding Buckingham and Nicks changed a lot of the sound as well that we're going to talk about today. The band began to have a lot more of like a pop rock sound that obviously became very, very popular with the listeners that were listening to all their music. So they released their first self-titled album in 1975, went to the top of the Billboard 200, and that album, also so good. We won't talk about it too much today, but like, oh my God, that album is so good. And it showcases a lot of, I think, like Stevie Nicks' insane songwriting, specifically on that album with like Landslide. And I never know how to pronounce the name of the song.
Rhiannon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You knew exactly what I was talking about before I even said it.
I feel like, Maria, you're so Rhiannon to me.
So, yes. And that's a compliment.
Ah,
Like you kind of ring like a bell through the night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, I'm touched.
Oh, I love that song. That's like the nicest thing somebody could say about somebody, though, that they remind them of Rihanna. I'm not even gonna say the song title. I never get it right.
You just
You
did.
said it right just now.
Rhiannon.
Yes.
Rhiannon. Okay.
Girl, it's in the song.
I know, and I can never get it right. I can say it multiple, like, and every time I sing, I feel like I just kind of like trail off on that part because I can never get it. Yeah, so shout out to that album as well. My dad and I actually had a conversation where he made a rash comment that he thinks he prefers the 1975 Fleetwood Mac album over Rumours, and I had to like make him backtrack on that one. He's like, oh, maybe, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. So, but he loves that album too. So I like fully grew up on listening to Fleetwood Mac. My mom loved it. My dad loved it. Mary Phillips is also the catalyst for all my singer-songwriter obsessions with like Joni and Carole King and all of that. So once again, shout out them. I'll shout out them the whole time. But now we're going to get into the making of the album, into Rumours, and it gets messy. It's actually, they based the creating of this album off of the TV show Daisy Jones and the Six, if anybody's seen that. Wait, no, Daisy Jones and the Six is based off of Rumours. Oh my God.
They based the album off the book.
Around, please. Yeah, no,
Oh my gosh.
All inspired by Daisy Jones and the Six. No. That's so funny. No, Daisy Jones and the Six inspired by Rumours and the making of that album. Things started to get super messy. So, and once again, if I miss anything, please jump in here because there's a ton to cover. But the first album that they released was super, super successful, but that put a lot of pressure, a lot of strain on the band, both like as a band itself, like needing to perform, needing to, try to get the top of the charts again, either match or improve what they'd already done with their first album, but specifically put a lot of strain on a lot of the relationships that existed within the band. So first things first, Christy McVie, John McVie, they ended up going through a divorce. They ended their marriage during the making of this album. From what I researched, literally would only speak music around each other, like would give each other the silent treatment unless they were in the studio, which could not be more different from the relationship that had broken up between Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, who were like screaming at each other all the time. So very two opposite ends, which I think, I don't know if you guys agree with me, you can definitely hear in the way they write songs about each other. Like, especially with like,
1000%.
yeah, like with like something with like Christine McVie, like Don't Stop, so much about like looking forward, like almost like an optimism sort of thing to me. And then you hear Silver Springs, and it's like that's the most angry and depressing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Um, so those were like two main relationship breakups that were happening at the time they were writing this album, and obviously inspired a lot of the music. Um, Mick Fleetwood was also going through a lot at the time. He was going through a divorce. And Levi, correct me if I'm wrong. Was he? Because eventually, him and Stevie Nicks also ended up having a thing for a little bit, but I can't remember if that was during the making of this album or after.
I think it was like I think this album had been out because that it gets more touched on the follow-up album Tusk.
Yes,
There's a really great song
correct. Okay, you're
by
right.
Stevie called Storms. It's one of my favorite Stevie songs. That's about her relationship with Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah. So I think he like a lot of it was he was going through his like divorce at the time, with his then wife. Um, so yeah, so basically during that whole time, the band began writing Rumors, the album we're talking about today. So all that emotional and personal turmoil essentially is what it boils down to, is what fueled the making and the production of this album, and in my opinion, I think in a lot of people's opinions, is what makes the album so special, and what makes the songwriting so real and authentic. There's so many different dynamics, so many different relationships between a lot of the songs, especially between the people singing the songs. So songs such as Dreams by Stevie Nicks and Go Your Own Way by Lindsey Buckingham, those were written about one another. um, Also, one of my favorites is that Christy McVie began very openly dating one of her lighting designers, and she wrote "You Make Loving Fun" about that, which I don't know why I find that so funny. That like she's just dating her lighting designer right in front of her ex-husband.
Well, do you want to know something even funnier? So
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want to upset John, her ex-husband. So when she wrote that song, which is about the lighting director, she told him it was about her dog.
I didn't know that. Is that true?
Yes.
No way. Shut up. Honestly, I
I think that rules.
would sing it about my dog. I don't have a dog, but I would sing it about that. Yeah, so that's always funny to think about. And also then though like songs like Don't Stop very much about like her looking ahead and looking forward from that relationship. But then there's songs as well like The Chain, which is like the only joint written song on the album. Um and those are some intense lyrics as well. Very, very evident signs of betrayal in those ones. So lots of different dynamics on this album. And finally, it was released in February of 1977. So kind of going into like the reception of it, it became one of the highest grossing albums of all time, with Fleetwood Mac also then becoming one of the best selling bands in the world. Rumors itself sold over 40 million copies worldwide, and Fleetwood Mac as a band has sold more than 120 million copies worldwide, which is like, I can't even, that's like so insane. The album went to number one in multiple countries, charted at number one, I think in the US for over 30 weeks, and won the coveted Album of the Year award at the 1978 Grammy Awards, which in my opinion, it wins the Grammy Award of Album of the Year for like history. But also like individual songs themselves did very, very well. Had 4 top 10 singles with Go Your Own Way, Dreams, Don't Stop, and You Make Loving Fun. So very popular, very famous at the time, and also still withstands the test of time. People are still talking about it, obviously, because the pop girlies are talking about it. So I don't know, Levi, do you have any, Levi, Maria, Drew, do you guys have anything else to add on the background or anything?
Well, fun fact, Dreams is actually the only Fleetwood Mac song to go number one in the US,
Oh, I didn't know that.
which is kind of crazy when I
Crazy.
found that
That
out.
is crazy.
I think
Oh
it's
yeah, because
crazy
yeah,
that Go Your
actually,
Own Way didn't go number one. 'Cause I
yeah,
feel like I knew that that song existed before I knew that Dreams existed.
yeah. I think I would agree with that.
I
I
just
think
think I had
probably
heard
the
that like
chain before
as
that
a
too.
kid. I think I had heard that You could go your like I
Yeah,
just feel like I've heard that chorus. I think that Dreams had like that resurgence because that TikTok like a few years ago,
yeah,
but when
yeah.
we were like kids and teenagers, to me the song that I associated more was Go Your Own Way.
I think even like the chain for me too. Like I feel like I heard the chain in that melody a lot more than I did Dreams ever. Um, Honestly, even Don't Stop. Like I feel like Dreams really came to me like later for this album. Like when I started to really listen to the album as a whole, which is insane because like now like that is such
Yeah.
a great song. I can't imagine like ever thinking about Rumors without it. I think it's also important to mention that as we're talking about this album, we're including Silver Springs on it. Levi, you give the explanation for that because you're better at explaining it than me.
Yeah, so this is like I think one of the most fascinating stories in music history. The song has had such a really fascinating journey. I think like nowadays with like listeners our age, I think Silver Springs is like one of their more recognizable songs.
Mhm.
Um, but it didn't start off that way. So Silver Springs was kind of it's written by Stevie Nicks. It's a Stevie Nicks song, and it was intended to be her big showcase on the album. So at that point, she already had Dreams and she had Gold Dust Woman, but Silver Springs was supposed to be like her huge moment. And she had written it when she was on a tour bus driving through Maryland and she saw a sign for a town called Silver Springs. And she has this really lovely quote saying that like she was really taken by that phrase and that just represented all the things that her and Lindsay could have been to each other. And they write the song. She writes the song. They work in the arrangement. It originally starts as like I think like a 10-minute long song, and they force her to cut down and whittle down the verses because there were initially a lot of verses, and it went on for a really long time, until it becomes the record that we hear today. Well, nowadays, length isn't really a big deal because obviously physical copies exist, vinyls exist. However, the primary way that people consume music is digitally through streaming. So you can have as many songs streaming as you want. Uh, this is in the time of vinyls being pretty much the only way that people listened to music. You listened to records, you got your record, and there was only so much space that could fit on the record. And with the inclusion of Silver Springs, the album was too long. It physically could not fit on an LP. And so they had to cut it. This decision was made without Stevie because they knew that she would freak out. Um, Before this decision was made, Stevie, thinking that this was going to be her big moment, she had all the royalties and publishing rights go to her mom, and that was supposed to be like a gift to her mother that would like, give her millions and millions of dollars and do whatever. Um, so they make the decision, the band makes the decision to withhold Silver Springs from the album. And then in order to give Stevie another song, they pick a shorter song from the old Buckingham Nicks catalog called I Don't Want to Know. And they record it in secret. So they do the arrangements. Lindsey Buckingham does his vocals, and they have everything ready for Stevie to record hers. And then they break the news to her. She talks about like storming out in the parking lot screaming, saying she wants to quit the band for them taking away Silver Springs. And she only relents and records her part on I Don't Want to Know because she didn't want to only have two songwriting credits on the album. And now she's like happy that that song exists, because I think she's really happy with the way that that
We
record
love that
turned
song.
out, and I love that song. But yeah, so Silver Springs at the time was a pretty unknown song. It was only officially released as the B-side to Go Your Own Way, the single LP, so it was on the other side of that vinyl. Um, and that was kind of like you got Lindsay's perspective and her perspective, but her perspective being the B side, the lesser known side, not the single. And they occasionally performed it, but that song largely went unnoticed for about like 20 years. And it had a big resurgence in popularity when they reunited in the late 90s for a reunion and a reunion concert, and they filmed a live album and video. It's called The Dance. This came from 1997, and Silver Springs is featured in that set list. And that kind of became a huge moment because in the performance, that's like the highlight of the concert because Stevie and Lindsey Buckingham like lock eyes and have this insane, intense stare down with each other. That caused the song to be released as a single, and the live version of that actually got nominated for a Grammy. And then that performance has continued to go viral, most notably on TikTok. It's gone viral quite a bit on TikTok. And so now Silver Springs has earned this reputation as this huge high point for Stevie, and a very important part of Rumors. I mean, I think that like now Silver Springs is a much more recognizable song than Oh Daddy or
Mm.
Secondhand News or Never Going Back. Um, I think it's one of the iconic Rumor songs now. And now it's generally seen as one of the songs. There's different reissues, have it at different places. The most common place for it is it to be the final song right after Gold Dust Woman. Um, but yeah, that's the story. I think it's fascinating. I love songs that have an interesting journey into public recognition. I mean, we talked about that a few weeks ago with Maria's album Hounds of Love. Hounds of Love.
Mhm.
I just said Hounds of Love. That's so embarrassing. Um, but Running Up That Hill obviously is a song that like
Uh,
Yeah.
had a, decades
yes,
long
with
wait.
Stranger Things.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously a smaller scale, but I think a more modern example of that is Cruel Summer being a beloved
Yeah,
album track and then randomly becoming one of,
yeah.
if not her biggest worldwide hit. So yeah, Silver Springs is a great example of that. And it makes me really happy that a song that meant so much to Stevie has had its moment and, is now recognizable.
And she's just like she's so valid for crashing out the way she did because like I can't imagine a world in me writing that song and then people be like, you know what? Cut scissors. I would be so pissed because that is like if I wrote a song like that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't love y'all. I wouldn't be on Pop Girlies. I'd be touring. I would be touring. I would buy y'all your own podcast studio if I wrote a but
I
yeah,
mean,
thank you
I,
for that.
I also think there's an element of like, Lindsey Buckingham is the vocalist who's featured the most on the album. And like, there definitely, I think, is a bit of like an imbalance in like the dynamics between like the male presence and the female presence on this record. And I think like that's an example of like at the time, just the authority and the power that male vocalists had over female artists. Not saying that like it's completely leveled now, because obviously that's not the case. But I mean, Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks were like really groundbreaking figures in
Yeah.
rock and roll, especially Stevie, with her solo career and the way that she became known for her performances. Like they're very important figures in such a male dominated field.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you for going through all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. And yeah, so that's the background of the album, that's the reception. Especially like I wanted to talk about Silver Spring since we're going to be including that in our rankings and everything. Because I don't think about Rumors without thinking about Silver Spring. So I feel like, and I don't think any of us do. So she deserves a place. Um, cool. So anything else, or should we go into what thoughts?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
That was so lovely.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Thank you so much, Irene. You killed it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
slayed.
yay, I'm glad. I did shout out to, Wikipedia. Can I give like sponsor deals on here? Wikipedia,
Wikipedia, the free website.
oh
A
shit,
free website.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
Wikipedia sponsor me. Hopefully nobody lied on the Wikipedia site, but shout out to them. I also did a lot of research on that. Wikipedia was the main one. They have a lot of great
I
information.
love that Irene is giving like a works cited.
I know. We didn't
I
even
know
do
it's because
bibliography.
I'm like, do you want to hear how my mind works? I'm like stressed that like famously I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, somebody had written on Wikipedia these things, and they're going to listen to this podcast and get mad at me because I didn't shout them out. So shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wikipedia contributors across the globe in
Yes.
general until the end of time.
Yes, exactly. Thank you,
Well,
Maria.
there you go.
Have all those bases covered so nobody can get mad at us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't know. Who wants to go first?
You pick.
Yeah, you pick.
Drew.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So I was really excited for this album because I had never heard it all the way through before.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah, I probably like lied about it, but
Again, Drew is very famous for lying. I actually didn't know that you did this with albums because Drew is very famous for lying about movies that he hasn't seen.
Yep.
yeah. But no, I had never heard like a lot of these album tracks. The only songs that I had heard were the songs featured in the spectacular episode in season 3 of Glee called Rumours.
Oh my God.
Where it's like a whole episode devoted to this album, and like it was one of my favorite episodes of television ever. So I was really excited to get into it, and a lot of these I only knew the Glee cast versions of. So it was really cool to like actually hear all of it. And yeah,
It's intended to be heard.
yeah, right. And I mean, I'm kind of sad that the Glee version is what I know because obviously, like, they have a specific way of singing in Glee that I love. Like, obviously, I love all of the vocalists in Glee for the most part. And obviously, I'm like a very vocal centered person in what I really enjoy in the albums that I listen to. So, to be completely honest, I was like kind of like there were some songs where I was like, ooh, like these vocals are not doing it for me.
Anything to say, Drew?
I love like all of the Stevie songs, but there are a few songs where I'm like, oh, like
Wait,
like
which well, name them.
I mean like we're gonna compare Leah Michelle to whoever was singing on the Go Your Own Way Girl.
Oh my God. Oh my
Lindsey
God.
Buckingham.
Drew,
Girl, like come on.
Drew.
Like come on, you
Lindsey
guys.
Buckingham, one of the most important rock stars of all time.
That's fine. The song is amazing. He's great, whatever. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's not Leah Michelle. I'm just being honest.
I
Like,
can't
and
with
if
you.
that is how you're exposed to the song, then like that's how you're exposed to the song, and that's like me going into this, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Okay. Before
Why are
you
you acting like Lindsey Buckingham sounds like Kermit? He has a great voice.
no, before I continue, I have a genuine question, Drew.
yeah.
Will you be going back to the Gleecast version of Rumors, or will you be continuing to stream the original?
Yes,
He already did.
Will I? Had I? Yes, I did go back to it today before we delved into this on the podcast.
They don't
That's
do a
like-
Stevie song though, right?
They do Dreams. Kristen Chenoweth does Dreams.
Oh, she does
What?
Dreams, right?
Oh, how did
yeah,
that?
which
how
is
did that go?
fantastic. But I mean, I prefer the Stevie version because Stevie, of course, is amazing.
At least
As
we can.
as is everyone in the band. They're obviously so amazing. This album is so great. But I'm just
I'm
saying,
actually
like,
interested to
That's
hear
so
what your thoughts about Christine McVie's vocals because I think she has such a unique voice.
is she Songbird?
Yes,
Oh no.
she's the third.
Yeah,
vocal.
that was a chop for me. The vocals in Songbird over Naya Rivera singing to Britney Spears. Yeah, no,
A full
girl.
chop.
You guys,
Crying.
let's not live in this fantasy that she is like this phenomenal like vocalist.
Talking about
She's an
fantasy.
amazing vocalist.
Okay.
You're gonna regret having me on this show. Yeah, like
But like, okay, but like,
the way
Yeah,
that you
okay.
looked at us, like you thought we were lying when we said Christine McVie had great vocals.
well, I just like I mean, their vocals. I don't know. I
I
don't think
think so.
it's particularly impressive. I'm just gonna be completely
I
honest.
mean, I
I
want you
think
to be
so.
honest. Honesty's
I
best
want you to
policy.
be, yes,
Best
100%.
policy, best policy. I think something that we could say also is like the vocalization that's happening on the original Rumors album is completely different than what is happening in Glee World. And it's two completely different performances,
Totally.
period.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, where it's like it's the same song. Like obviously you're gonna compare the two, but I feel like also and you did like acknowledge that it's like two different worlds that the two
Yeah.
different versions of the songs live in. So like where you're coming from is valid. I We're just jarred.
Well, and also
I just,
like
it's
I
the most
think
shocking thing I've ever heard. I'm not
That is,
criticizing you at all.
well, and the melodies in the album are so good, and I mean the clear, crisp Glee vocals that you get like provide such clarity to the melodies and rumors, and it was just like, uh, it was crazy.
This is
Um,
tone deaf hose ruining.
but besides the vocals, I really obviously enjoyed it. I love like the history of it. Like I love when there's lore. And so I knew about the whole like relationship of it all because of the Glee episode, obviously. And yeah, I'm so glad that we are doing it because it's such a classic. And I feel like it's coming back, and I feel like I was hearing about rumors like a week ago, but like I don't know why. Is it like in pop
We were
culture?
scheduling when we were gonna record this episode.
yeah.
Right, exactly. Um,
It kind of
but
like,
yeah, and I love like how it's like Dreams, for example, like is a song that like people are still recreating. Like
mm,
obviously we just talked about Halsey's Panic Attack song on The Great Impersonator, which is literally just like recreating the Dreams production. And it sounds like so modern and contemporary, but like also when you listen to it in the context of Rumors, it's so great. And it fits in with the vibe of the sonic landscape of it. So yeah, I really love, I mean, I'm sure like Levi and Maria will have more to say about like the lyricism and the production because that's what they are drawn to. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I'll keep it short and sweet because
I love that. Drew, honestly, like I don't like I could have guessed a million times about what I would be shocked on when I came onto this podcast today. Me hearing that you have never listened to Rumors all the way through, but only the Gleecast version is maybe like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, but also so valid. And I like there's a couple of songs that I only know the Kids Bop versions of. And I can't listen like if I listen to Bad Day by Daniel
Yes,
Powder
the Kids Bop version is so good.
because they it's so funny because they like cheer during it. I'm like, why are y'all happy?
yeah,
This is a sad song.
I
So
mean, I mean, homework for Rumors fans, go listen to Leah Michelle riff on Go Your Own Way
I
because
can't with you. You're so funny. I love that. I will, and you know what? I will.
yeah,
I
do
will.
it.
You know what? I'll
She was trying to win back Finn Hudson, and girl,
and
Okay,
she was doing it.
controversially, my favorite performance in that episode is I Don't Want to Know.
oh, it's so good, Diana.
I mean, Songbird top two, number two, but the Quinn Finn I Don't Want to Know is so good,
It's so good. Anytime they get Diana Agron working and singing,
which is a really hard thing to do to get her out of the trailer. Considering I've never seen somebody who hates.
imagine if they would have let her sing Dreams.
Yeah, I don't love Kristen Chenoweth. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, I liked her Dreams,
I don't love her
but
singing in this.
oh,
These
sure.
She just doesn't have that kind of voice to me. Like I don't like her home that much.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Well, you don't probably.
He doesn't know what you mean.
yeah. I'm listening.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, Irene, who's next?
Well, Maria, I chose you first for hot track, so we'll go with Levi.
Cool.
Um, I don't know if I can follow the Glee conversation.
That is the funniest thing I've ever
I
heard.
actually Like,
Drew, and
just
that's so
think that we need to cancel the episode.
it's so Drew to me. Like Drew, we haven't I feel like we haven't been face to face in a while, and the fact that that is our interaction, I am more than happy.
Um, okay. Me and Rumors. This is, well, when I found out that Irene wanted to do this album, I got just elated. First of all, because some of the other options that she had been toying
Yeah,
with are
I was just
albums
gonna say
that I am not particularly fond
I
of.
wanted to do a Billy, and Levi doesn't like Billie Eilish.
I don't dislike, I I try so hard
He
to
tries. He tries for me.
I try for humanity, for my sake. I want to know. I want to know what everybody else hears. I want to know why I'm deficient. Um, Maria just said something really funny in our Zoom chat.
Well, okay, so I'm sorry, Lee, but you started talking and I was thinking back to when we were talking about how like oftentimes when we talk about artists we've never talked about we before, like sometimes we revert all the way back to like, oh my God, this is the day the artist was born. Like we start with their birthday and it's just so funny. So then Levi's like, me and Rumors. So then I started laughing because like in my head I'm just like, me and Rumors. It all started when I was born. And that's where Levi starts.
You know, I was actually delivered to Silver Springs, was playing in the
Yeah.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Yep.
um oh, I don't even know what I was talking. What was I
Oh,
talking?
Billy. We're talking
Oh,
about Billy.
Billy. Yeah, Billy. I want to understand, but
He doesn't.
I just don't. Um, and so when she decided to do this instead, I was so happy because, Irene is a very special friend. And this is, well, and obviously Drew and Maria are my special friends as well. And then this is one of the most special albums of my life. Uh, I absolutely adore this record. This is one of the like this is a life-defining album for me. And so my history with this, I knew songs from Fleetwood Mac, obviously. I knew like Landslide was probably like the biggest one. I think that was the one that I had on my iPod the most before I moved to college. But Fleetwood Mac and specifically Rumours was the soundtrack of my freshman year. It was the first musical obsession that I had when I was a freshman in college. And I don't know. I associate it so much with this like new era of independence, living away from home for the first time, living in a city for the first time, getting to explore who I was, falling in love, uh, just all of it. It's a very important transformational evolutionary period of my life. I had the best run of my life listening to Rumors. I left my dorm. This was when I was still living in San Fran, Maria, so we were still neighbors. And I go on this run in the middle of the afternoon, probably like 3, 4-ish, something like that. And it's kind of cloudy. I didn't look at the weather before I left. And so I start this album, and by the time I'm on Dreams, so I'm, maybe like half a mile away from campus, it starts to rain. And for some reason, instead of turning back, I just keep going. And I go all around Andersonville and Rogers Park listening to this album front to back while it's pouring down rain. And it is genuinely it might be my favorite experience ever listening to an album. It was so magical. I remember like standing on the corner while it was drizzling, waiting for the light to go, listening to Songbird, which was so emotional. Uh, I can just picture every single song. I know exactly where I was. I could tell you, probably like by block where I was. And so it's this very special experience that I have with this album. And I think it's really representative of this relationship I have with it. This is the first thing I loved as an independent person on my own. The first thing I loved away from home. I fell in love with Stevie Nicks specifically as a songwriter. She's become one of my favorite songwriters of all time. Uh, but also like, as much as I love her solo work, like the alchemy of this lineup can never be replicated in anything else. Um, I think first of all, the vocal chemistry between the three vocalists is incredible. These like airtight, beautiful harmonies. I think some voices are just meant to be sung together. I know that's something that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo talked a lot about in the Wicked press tour, that
Yeah.
like they had these like two voices that just like were meant to blend perfectly together. I feel that way about Christine McVie, Stevie Nicks, and Lindsey Buckingham, which is funny because all three of them individually have like pretty different voices.
Very
I
different.
think Lindsey Buckingham probably has the most straightforward voice of the three. This is funny that Drew went on his, you know, soapbox because Lindsey Buckingham like might be my favorite male vocalist. Like he might have my favorite male voice of all time. Because you guys know I don't like the way that males sing, but I love his voice. I think he has one of
Oh,
the most beautiful tones. I think he has this amazing quality where he can be super gritty, and also but also really bright. And then obviously Stevie Nicks has one of the most distinct voices in music history. This just smoky, raspy, like siren call. And Christine McVie to me, she doesn't sound like this person, but I think they have the same effect where she's the way I feel listening to her sing is very similar to how I feel listening to Phoebe Bridgers sing. There's this like sincerity and earnestness. I feel like she just stopped crying.
Great
Almost
comparison.
every
That's
single
a
time
great
she
comparison.
sings, which is the same way I feel about Phoebe Bridgers. Again, different vocal quality and tone, but that similar kind of effect. So there are three very different styles of singing, but the way that they blend together is just it's musical perfection. They are meant to sound together. They're meant to be sung together. And the instrumental work, I mean, the way that Christine McVie plays keys, John McVie is an amazing bass player. The bass lines on this album go so hard. The drums of this album are amazing. Lindsey Buckingham is one of the best guitarists, I think, in music history. Um, and the way that this album has been remastered and updated using modern technology, there's such a crispness and clarity to listening to this record. You can hear every single like detail of acoustic guitar strumming in the background. You can hear every single vocal harmony. There's a lot of like really cool stuff. I mean, this was at a time when you were really groundbreaking things in the studio and like these people were like really pioneering ways that things could sound, and there's a lot of like cool effects of like voices coming in from different directions and the ways that like vocal background vocals would kind of like grow and then like get smaller. It's just I think a really impressive piece of production and musicianship. And then of
Levi,
course,
when I was listening to this with my dad in the car this weekend, I thought the same exact thing as you because I don't know if I've ever listened to that album like fully in the car. I think I've just like
mm,
listened to the headphones, but I literally like there were certain songs where I was getting chills because of how like full it was and like
yeah,
the experience of like there was so much happening all around you. It gives me chills thinking about it. Like the production is truly like music doesn't sound like that.
no.
Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's just so incredible and it's everything. It's why it's one of the best albums ever made.
I feel that way specifically. I think the best representation of that is during the chorus of You Make Loving Fun.
Yes, yes, I was gonna say the exact same
The
thing.
way that like those like background vocals
Yes,
soar and you get the major chords and then her
so
vocal is like
full.
so beautiful and just like floats in. It's just it's
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
it's like what love feels like to me. Like that is the emotion of like falling in love. Um
Yeah,
but then, you know,
yeah.
going into where for me the meat of this is unsurprisingly for me, the songwriting. These are just some of the best songs I think ever written. I think there's a reason why this album has endured the way it has. Of course, part of it is this like lore and special history. I mean, people love knowing like a story around a song or an album, and like the fact that like this is an album made by people who all hated each other, but it's so good, is so compelling just on its own. But like that doesn't sell 40 million copies, you know, just like a really compelling narrative and story and history. These songs are bulletproof. I never get tired of listening to this album. It is so airtight to me. I mean, including Silver Springs, it's just 12 songs, but not including Silver Springs, it's 11. And it's just like, to me, it's all meat, no fat, genuinely. And it's just one of the things I love most about Fleetwood Mac and the fact that they have these like three different songwriters and vocalists is they have very different styles of songwriting. Um, you know, Stevie Nicks' lyrical voice is incredibly different from the way that Christine McVie approaches a song. And those both are very different from the way that Lindsey Buckingham approaches a song. And so it having all those voices together on one record to me creates this level of dynamicism and just like well-roundedness that I find really, really compelling. Um, I think that this album is incredibly dynamic. One of my favorite things about it is that even though it's a hardcore breakup album, it's so fun in like so
Mhm.
many parts. Like this is a fun album, I think, to listen to. I think Secondhand News, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, like those songs are so fun. Like that bow 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 baka bow, like that part in Secondhand News, I think is so silly and funny. Um, but then it's also really heartbreaking at points in this record, incredibly gut-wrenching. I think Songbird is one of the most beautiful plaintive ballads I've ever heard in my entire life. I think that the kind of like mystic, witchy, ethereal version of Stevie Nicks has never been felt more supremely on a Fleetwood Mac record than Dreams. Like that captures the way that that bass comes in. I did want to share a quick thing about that song because I think that song's really interesting. So she wrote that song incredibly quickly. Let me confirm how long it took her to write it. I think she wrote it in about 10 minutes. She wrote it in 10 minutes. She was just on a little keyboard and she wrote it in 10 minutes and played it and recorded it on a little cassette tape. And then when she brought it back to the group, they didn't really like it that much because it was very simple structure wise. And I think that this is an example of what makes Lindsey Buckingham so interesting is because he really was a big driving force behind a lot of the arrangements of the songs. And he's the person who came up with that bass line that is really kind of like the heartbeat of that song. It's kind of the blood that flows through it. And that kind of like almost dancey grooviness to the song came from the band hearing it. Because obviously it's an incredibly written song, but I think it speaks to the way that they are so amazing together because they just elevate each other so much. I mean, Stevie Nicks is a poet, but the way that, Lindsey Buckingham can see how a song should be and the way that the rest of the band could execute that is just incredible. So, yeah, it's one of my favorite records of all time. I'm so happy that we've talked about it. I'm excited to get more into like specifics of my Holy Trinity. I'm excited to hear what Maria has to say. Because I'm shocked that Drew had never heard it in full. And so now I'm like, Maria's had to have. Marie, have you heard it in full?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and then Irene, what you have to say more. And I'm obviously super excited to hear what everybody's holy trinities are and these. So that's what I have.
Yay. Okay, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and dive in. But yeah, I had heard this album before all the way through, but actually fairly recently, probably about 3 years ago, because I had started listening to the Rolling Stone 500 top albums of all time list, and I started with number one and then was going down. And I almost got through the top 10 in consecutive order and then just kind of started jumping around, and I haven't really like been referencing it in like recent years, but it was like a fun little kind of project for a short amount of time. But that was like when I had first listened to it in full. But of course, just like from being alive, had heard most of the album already. But I feel like while I don't have like a super intimate experience with it, or like it wasn't like a huge part of my like personal life, I feel like this a lot of the big songs on this album were like just the concept of this album in general. I had always been like approached to it by like other media or like just like by other entertainment means.
Mhm.
Like I always kind of got
I get
like
that.
came around back to it. Mostly like through covers, like we've talked about. Um,
Glee.
so not Glee, no, not Glee.
Drew's like first comment in like 20 minutes.
Drew
Wait,
says that knowing I've never seen an episode of Glee.
Lee. Oh, God.
But where I think I was most intentionally even like introduced to Fleetwood Mac was probably around the time I was in middle school because I was really into Bastille of Pompeii fame. Like I
Yes.
loved them so, 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 so much. And they used to do these, and I might have talked about it on the show before, but they used to do these like unreleased like mixtapes, and it would mostly consist of covers and like other like very like scrapbook together songs. But they have a cover of Dreams, and it's with another artist, and I can't remember her name now. But it's like I'm fairly certain it's like framed as a duet or maybe in like but these mixtapes that they would do would feature other artists. Like it was like an entire like collaborative effort. And I'm pretty sure that there would be like entire songs that were sung by like some like guest artist. So I can't quite recall exactly. It might have been one of those instances, but all that to say, that's kind of how I was exposed to that song and like the concept of this album and like Fleetwood Mac in general, I think. So there was that. And similar to Irene, also a big Harry fan. And I don't know, like, did you go to his first arena tour? I'm guessing you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the tour where he did a cover of The Chain.
Right. You know, I never saw it, but I've seen all the videos.
Yeah. Because that was just like such an insane experience. That was, I think, the height of my like Harry standum. Well,
Mm.
actually, no, it was probably like Fine Line era, where I was like,
Yeah,
it's
same.
really truly
COVID,
like the
COVID
very air that I was breathing had everything to do with the
fine
Fine
line
Line era.
era. The
Yeah.
COVID fine line era was different.
Yeah, like every single thing just hit different,
Yeah.
um but yeah, and I'm sure Drew would roll his eyes if I even attempted to tell the full story because like Drew and I met freshman year of college and like that was I was also like so into Harry and had just come off of the summer of having gone to that concert and would tell the story of how my friend and I snuck into the pit for at that show. Like I would tell it ad nauseum. And he had probably heard me tell it like 50 times. And it got to a point where he's like, why don't you tell him how you snuck into the pit? He would like really make fun of me for it.
I literally could tell it detail by detail, like as a stand-up comedy set. Like
Yeah.
it,
Drew could
yeah,
tell it in
a
his sleep.
monologue. Yeah.
So I'll definitely spare the details, but it was just very cool that I was like so close and he was performing The Chain, which is like such a monumental song for me. And then I did get a Harry interaction during the song, which was like crazy tea. Because I was like freaking out, and then he did a little like side shrug and like a smile at me, and I was
Oh
like,
my God. I would did you faint? If
"Girl,
I like to say I locked eyes with him in the 300 levels, but nobody believes me about that.
girl, I believe." Well, sometimes you see videos from like, or especially Harry, because he does like those 360 stages a lot. So it's interesting to see like actually how clear an artist can see the people in the
Yeah.
audience. So like, I wouldn't doubt it, to be
That's
honest.
the thing. And Levi knows this specifically. You never doubt my gut feeling. And I just had this feeling. I'm like, him and I just locked eyes. You're
No,
just
Irene is like
I'm a
that's
psychic.
a raven.
I'm a psychic. And it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Him and I locked eyes. Harry, if you're listening, love you. That was really awesome that one time we locked eyes at Love on Tour, Night 2 Chicago.
Harry, do
Love you,
not
King.
listen to the first episode of Pop Girly.
Irene, who gave you the ticket to that?
Drew did. Drew did give me the ticket to that. Yes, he did. Or I guess I mean I bought it off of you.
Yeah,
You
you did.
that's
You
the
bought
gag.
it.
That's
Not the gag.
There was a transaction.
There was a Venmo,
but it was a
Yeah.
great seat and I had an awesome time. So I do try to.
and she locked eyes.
And
Could you
we
imagine I had tickets to a Harry Styles concert?
isn't that crazy? I remember though, like
I can't believe that.
I can't either. You too, because David got one too. But
I
I
know.
remember specifically, actually, I don't even remember where this was going. Oh yeah, I made a joke on my at the time I had Snapchat in junior year of college on my Snapchat story that Harry Styles was staying in Baumhart Residence Hall downtown, like Loyola's Residence Hall. The amount of people that believed me was concerning. Like,
Oh my God.
like I had people being like, "No way!" I'm like, and I had to like make a public apology that I was lying.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
That's so
anyway,
funny.
yeah. Back to your thoughts on rumors. Sorry for the
Of
derail.
course. No, that was so lovely. So yeah, so like all that to say, I feel like this is an album I'd always kind of approach through like another medium. And Irene, I'm not sure if you're gonna get into it at all because I know you had already mentioned Daisy Jones.
Mm.
Like if you have any opinions about it, I would love to hear it because like I had read the book and watched the show. I definitely had a better experience, I think, reading the book. I thought the book was like a more fun, like experience, like engaging with the media. But I like am so curious if you have opinions on it, like if you liked it or if you didn't like it.
Yeah, I actually like went against all my morals. I read the book after I saw the show. Because I'm like a Riley Keough stan. Like I think
Yeah.
she's so awesome, and I think she's fantastic in that show.
She's
Mhm.
amazing.
I loved her, and I literally had a life-changing experience in what I think is her best acting moment of the whole show, is when she's like throwing out her fiance because he left her for dead, basically, and Goldust Woman is playing in the background. Does anybody here know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's
It's coming back to me.
life changing.
I've
But
never seen, have all of y'all seen that?
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good. You should watch it. I really liked it. I honestly liked how they had like the album to go along with it. I was actually listening to the album at the gym today too because I was thinking about it since we were doing this. Um, I liked it. I thought the acting was good. I probably liked the book better,
Uh-huh.
but that's like not weird for me. Like I usually like the book better than the shows, but I don't know. I thought they did a good job, and I think like I just love Fleetwood Mac. I love the making of his album, obviously. So like anything adjacent to that, I'm gonna enjoy no matter what. But Riley Keough is
Yeah.
my girl. And also love Suki Waterhouse. So I was having a good
Yeah.
time.
Oh gosh, I forgot she was in it
Oh my God,
until
I
you said
love
that.
her. She's so good in it too. She's like the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my entire life too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I love that. I feel like I kind of had like a mixed experience with it. And like sometimes I have just like a hard time, like I'm like a mental hurdle with like fictional, like in-world music, because I feel like sometimes
Yeah,
it just like reads
I
as
agree.
corny.
I agree.
Um, and then I was like, oh gosh, I'm just like not vibing with these songs. Like, who even wrote these songs? And then I look it up and it was like Phoebe Bridgers and Marcus Mumford. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. No, why don't I like it? So it's like, oh my God. And
Do you like
so
any of the
yeah,
songs, Maria?
sorry.
Do you like any of the songs?
I remember there being one. I think it was like the big one at the
Look
end.
at
That was
us
like,
now. Was it Look at Us Now?
My
no.
fave is The River. The River,
Yes, yes.
I love that. I actually listened to that song this weekend. I
I
love,
love that song.
T.
I think that's like such a Stevie Nicks song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I know that's like very topical, especially with like TikTok Zoomers when they think about like Fleetwood Mac. That's like kind of, or even like, with like a younger generation, I'm sure that's how a lot of folks were probably introduced to Fleetwood Mac at all. So yeah, fun thing to kind of like tie it all to. Um, but yeah, I mean, I definitely really like how this album kind of flip-flops between like the really intense breakup songs and like the more optimistic, upbeat ones like you guys were referencing earlier. So it's just like an overall like super, super great experience. And yeah, it's like one of the most iconic albums ever. It has some of the best songs of all time on it, like without question. And the cover's great and the font is great. Like everything about it is just great. So yeah, and in the group chat with the four of us, sending a piece of absolute lore that I was telling Levi and Drew about this weekend. But my mom did in fact meet Lindsey Buckingham,
No.
and there's a picture of it. So you guys get the pleasure of looking at
Oh my God. Oh my God.
it.
Shut up. Where is that?
So that's in my hometown of
Why is
Rochester,
this
Michigan.
the quality of the
That is the
And of course,
craziest
it's my
thing.
mom, so it's a screenshot of a picture.
song?
But
Buckingham
that had to have been
looking,
from like what?
Lindsey Buckingham looking so disheveled.
He looks insane. He looks insane. The picture's probably from like 15 years ago. No, not that. Probably like 10, 11, 12 years ago or something.
He looks like he
But
emerged from an alley.
yeah, yeah,
And he probably did.
probably did. But
That's
yeah,
a
he was like they were performing in my hometown and my mom and her friend were walking in this like kind of like main street shopping area that's like super close to our house. And then they were like, that kind of looks like Lindsey Buckingham. And then he kept turning around because he knew that people were like recognizing him. And then I suppose he just turned around. He was like, all right, you guys want a picture? They were like, yes. And
oh,
then he asked my mom, he was like, I really like hiking. Is there anywhere around here I can hike? And then she directed him to the actual hiking trail that does run through our town. So, so a fun little piece of lore to cap it all off. But yeah.
that's crazy.
Yes. Yay.
Well, I'll wrap it up if that's okay with everyone.
Please.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's no surprise to the people. I know Maria, we literally met like an hour ago for like the first time face to face. But it's no surprise to my friends Levi and Drew that I'm a very emotional person. And I think like Levi, you and I have a conversation about this a lot where like you love a songwriter. Like I feel like that's like your main focus when listening to songs. Like you have such great things to say about the songwriting specifically. Drew, I didn't know you were like so huge on vocals, which I think is really cool. I know some people are really big
Yeah.
on production. Um, like for me, I love a musician. Like anybody that can like do it all together, that's like what I gravitate towards. And I think this album specifically is like one of the most insane displays of musicianship of all time. But for me, like the emotional attachment that I have to this album, I think that's where all my favorite albums come from, is like the emotional attachment I get to it. And that's why I really loved like listening to like that you guys started this podcast too. Because one, I think you guys are so fun and you're my friends. So of course I want to listen to it. But like I think you dive so much into like so much deeper into the history and the specifics of the albums that I don't really like. I do listen to and I do dive deep into when I listen to music, but I gain such like emotional attachment from listening, and that's like what really drives me towards my favorite albums. And I think with this one specifically, I'm really close. We've mentioned Jim and Mary before, but I'm super close with my mom and my dad. And I've been thinking a lot since, I love music so much, how their specifically like their influence on me and the music that I listened to when I was younger, um, how that's like impacted the music that I still love today. So like my mom is like my singer songwriter obsession stemmed from listening to Joni and Carol all the time from my mother. And I think my dad and my mom both would always play Fleetwood Mac. Like it was always around. And I just remember it being like one of the first times like I would listen to like my mom playing music and like not be like, ugh, turn on the Taylor Swift when I was like 8 years old, because I wanted to listen to my music. But this like I just remember thinking like it's just like timeless. Like, and I feel like everybody can have some sort of attachment to one of the songs on it. And I think that's what makes it so special. Specifically for me, like Songbird was always a really special song. Levi, I agreed with you on that. Because I love a ballad as well. But then like there's always a song to like have a different hyperfixation on, because I think like Maria, you mentioned that there's so many differences in the songwriting and the production. Like you jump through so many different feelings and emotions, and I think for like me, and that's what I gravitate towards. I think that's why this album sticks out. um and I'm glad that we were able to talk about it today, because like for me there are very few albums where I'm like that is like a perfect album, and this to me is like one of them where I'm like I could listen to it a million times, I could never get sick of it. I think every song has its place, earns its place, and then you put Silver Springs on it and she earns her place too, of course. So that's just kind of my overall feeling on it. Obviously I love it, which is why I picked it, but thanks for like having me letting me be able to talk about it.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, are we ready to get into me's, our least favorites, and holy
But
trinities,
let's
our
do it. Let's do
faves?
it.
Yes.
Okay, Irene, are you good with us doing the me's first and then the holy trinities, or how would you like
Yeah,
it
let's do
differently?
it.
Okay, cool. So then, Drew.
Okay, my me is Oh Daddy. Um, yeah, I mean it definitely feels like it's not up to the level of everything else. I don't know how y'all feel, but we'll
My,
see.
my me is also Oh Daddy.
Okay, okay.
He is also Oh Daddy.
Mine is too.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I kind of think it's the obvious.
Yeah.
Very that. Well, that was easy.
Guys,
It's
this
also
is
the
so
outlier sonically. I think it's because
Yeah.
they started with a much more like blues inspired sound before Buckingham and Nix joined. And I think that's the song that's like closest to that sound. And I don't even think it's a bad song. Because
No, no.
there are parts of it I like. I just it
But
feels
Eric's place.
separate from
And it
everything.
has its place. I definitely think it has its place on the album. And I will listen to it when I listen through, but it's just the one that I don't gravitate towards. And I also want to shout out my roommate Madeline because I told her that I also gave her the lore on the Holy Me or the Holy Me, the Holy Trinities and the Me's, and she did a album ranking, and her Me is also Oh Daddy. So we got 5 for 5.
Whoa.
It's just like I don't know. It is interesting though because that's about she wrote it from Christine McVie wrote it from Mick Fleetwood's wife's perspective, which I think is kind of
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, that like the once again, like where I'm like it earns its place on its album because it's different. Like, it's a perspective that you don't get from the other songs. It's just like to me, it's like sonically the one that I listen to or like that I gravitate towards least.
Agree.
T.
Well, there we go. That was easy.
Yeah. Okay, do you want me to get into my Holy Trinity?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So my number three is Secondhand News. I really
Ooh.
like this one, hearing it for the first
Jim
time, obviously.
Phillips Warrior right there. Jim Phillips.
Yeah, love that one. It's such a good opener too to an album called Rumors. Like I think that's so cool. Love the sound, and I had never heard it before, so I really had that experience.
It's a great opener, Drew. I'm glad you
Yes.
mentioned that. I like
Yeah,
say
love.
that a lot about that song where I'm like, I think I would like it less if it wasn't the opener, but it functions
Agreed.
so great as the opener to that album.
Yes.
Agreed.
My number two is Dreams. I love Dreams. I love Stevie's vocals. Again, I kind of went into it in my thoughts. I think it's so like timeless and yeah, I mean Dreams inspired so much. Like I think Dreams inspired I've heard this artist sing the song live, but Dreams also kind of reminds me of like Casey Musgraves a little bit in her vocals.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, and she did a cover of it when I saw her live for the Starcrossed tour, and it was so good.
I bet
So
it's so good.
yeah, it was very good. Um, and then my number one is The Chain. I love The Chain. I love like a song like this that has so much like drama. Um, yeah, I think it's so good. It's also like when I think of Fleetwood Mac, I think of The Chain. Like this is the song that I associate so much with them. Um, yeah. So that's my three.
That's a
Period.
good top three.
Love.
Okay. I had a really hard time with my third. My one and two were locked and loaded. I cycled through about three different songs, four different songs for my third place. And I'm in this moment, I'm going with Songbird.
Yeah.
It is, I think, the most devastating moment on the record. It is so beautiful. And actually, interesting thing about that song, it was recorded like live. They recorded it in a theater. They rented a theater and had her play it. And then there's Lindsey Buckingham was off in the corner strumming acoustic guitar just to keep time. But like Christine McVie is singing and playing at the same time. And I think that you can hear that. It feels like somebody just quietly singing in a room to themselves, which she wrote it in the middle of the night by herself, which I think is also you can hear that. Um, one of the most emotional moments in any song for me is the bridge of, and I wish you all the love in the world, but most of all, I wish it from myself.
You guys, I literally like I have the lyrics up right now, and I was gonna say, like, when you were done talking, like, that's the highlight of the song. It
It
is a devastatingly beautiful lyric.
and the way the melody comes in, the way that she sings it is like,
100%.
oh, it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Like, I could tear up thinking about it right now.
Wow, what a moment.
What a moment in
What a
her
moment.
career.
And it's that melody too. Like,
Everything about it. It's
it's so
just,
beautiful.
it's incredible.
Yeah,
My number two is also Dreams. Dreams is, I talked a bit about this before, but Dreams has, I think, some of the most beautiful production on the record. It has classic Stevie songwriting. The hook, I think, is one of the strongest hooks.
Mhm.
This album has really great pre-choruses, and the pre-chorus here is crazy. Um, One of my favorite lyrics on the record is in the pre-chorus that like a heartbeat drives you mad in the stillness of remembering what you
Mhm.
had and what you lost.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Maria doing Maria did that. The Tia Tamara gif, I don't know which one it is, but when she's like moving her hands like that, the concept of a heartbeat driving you mad and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you like, it's so crazy. And then like the chorus is just classic Stevie. Like thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. It's oh my God. It's
The
so
perfect,
crazy. It's so crazy.
the perfect song.
And then my number one, I genuinely believe this is a candidate for my favorite song of all time, best song of all time.
Yup.
Um,
Say it.
You could be my
Yup.
silver string. It is. It's hard for me to actually put into words how monumental I think this song is. I think it is a feat of songwriting that is pretty unparalleled. I think what she does here, it represents everything that makes her such a special songwriter. The imagery is incredible. She's so good at like making you feel so much just by like evocative imagery. Um, and just the meta-ness of the outro of I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you. You'll never get away from the sound of the woman that loves you. And that being literal because for the rest of his life, his legacy is intertwined with her legacy. And 30 years later, they're still performing this song in concert, and she's staring at him dead in the eyes saying this. Also,
True.
the imagery of time casts a spell on you, but you won't forget me. It's
The concept.
it's it's
Also,
just one of the greatest songs.
Yeah.
it's like also like the gif ability of the lyrics. It's just like so beyond.
It's
Like
so
just thinking of how funny it is to like hear like I'll follow you down to the sound of my voice will haunt you with like something so stupid like a
imagine
stupid gif.
that being the Jamie Lee Curtis with that Michael Meyer behind her.
Oh my God.
Like you'll never get away from the sound.
Do you remember when I tried to recreate that gif at Scarlet with Chapel Roan?
Chaperone, yeah.
And the people around us watching were like, the heck's going on?
What?
It's like, well, we're making magic over here. Mind
This is
your
the place for
mind your
magic.
Girl, man, mind your damn business.
And the last thing I want to say about I could talk about Silver Springs forever. Her vocals on this.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks is one of my favorite vocalists. And the way that she lets it rip in the outro, that I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you.
Was just
Was I just a fool? Give me just a chance. It is like it's somebody bearing their soul. It's like it's just monumental. It's like you can't compare to it. And if you haven't heard the live version of it from the live album The Dance, listen to it right now.
Yeah.
Because they like make that outro longer. And she has this like riff of like she goes, never get away, while staring at him dead in the eyes, like she's beaming lasers from her pupils. It's incredible. So yeah, that's my number one.
that situationship. They're crazy.
They're still not over each other.
They're still not over each other,
They're fucking messy as hell.
which for the music industry is fantastic.
Great for the music.
Let me be clear. For my streaming platform,
Yeah,
I love
wonderful.
that situationship for their mental well-being. Different story.
Miss
Love it.
Maria.
Maria.
Okay. So my number 3 is Silver Springs.
Period.
Follow you down to the sound of my voice will haunt you. My number 2 is Dreams also. We're 3 for 3 on Dreams being number 2. Shout out to that. And my number 1's The Chain. It's undoubtedly one of my favorite songs of all time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we have two chain number ones.
Interesting.
Gag it.
Yeah, I got it. So yeah, I mean, I feel like what else can I say?
Like the
Except for
concept
those
of
are the
listening
songs.
to the wind blow.
Oh my God.
One of the best bass lines of all time, and the harmonies that are going on are just second to none, and everything about it is perfect.
Like if you can't love me now, you'll never love me again. Also, for context listeners, every single thing that me and Drew Maria say we're doing
We're still doing the Tia Mori
the
gif
Tia
with our hands.
Morgan. Irene, do you know what gift we're talking
I
about?
know exactly what gift you're
I-
talking about. You send it to me
I'll
constantly.
send, yeah,
It
yeah.
literally is like the concept of time casting a spell on you, but you not forgetting me. It's just
Like, the reason,
Levi,
like,
you do it so good because you put your hands really close to the screen.
let the record show the only reason I know the gift they're talking about is because Levi constantly to me with
I'm crying laughing.
Taylor Swift lyrics like all the time. And it's, you know
I
what?
never want Cornelia Street again.
I lay the table with the fancy shit. I'll tolerate it.
Stop. Why does it work for every lyric?
It works for everything.
works for everything. Like thunder only happens when it's raining.
Yes. Yes.
A player will only love you when he's playing.
It's
benefit-
long were the
okay.
nights where my days once revolved around you.
For the benefit of the radio,
Oh,
I'm
Oh
getting
my
a headache from the amount of times that they are doing the hand motions on the screen right now.
you make loving fun.
Exactly. The concept. The concept of one making loving fun.
Okay, Irene, take us home.
Well, I'm gonna switch it up. Sorry, Dreams. I have two songs that we haven't mentioned yet, I think in my top three. Um, I told Levi and Drew Maria before this, like, I will be giving my two and my three, like, as I start giving it, because to me, this is a perfect album. And, like, it's like these choices change every 2 seconds for me, except for my number one. Number three, I would put Gold Dust Woman.
Oh, I love that you picked that.
Yeah. I think like I'm a Stevie girl through and through, and like Dreams is a perfect song, no doubt about it. I think Gold Dust Woman for me, I think the difference with it is that honestly, I think Dreams has, and it's like what's affected me is how viral it's gotten lately, and I've just heard it a lot, so it doesn't hit as hard as it used to when I listened to it, whereas Gold Dust Woman I listen to less frequently. Not that Dreams isn't a perfect song, because it is. But I think that like Gold Dust Woman is just sticking out to me more right now. And it's just like I mentioned it in Daisy Jones and the Six earlier, but like that song to me is just like it's perfect, and the harmonies drive me insane. So that would probably be my number three. So my number two, okay, here's the thing about me, and Levi knows this specifically, is that there's always a song, especially in a Taylor Swift album, that I always pick just because I think it's fun. And I'm sorry, but You Make Loving Fun is my number two.
That was almost in my trinity.
That was really close.
Like
My number
it, like that song, it just makes me so happy. Like it's just so beautiful, and it's like it's a mix of everything. And I think honestly, it has one of my absolute favorite lyrics on the whole album with "I never did believe in miracles, but I have a feeling it's time to try." Like I just think that that's just like yeah, yeah.
That's a Taylor lyric.
It's such a Taylor lyric. Yes, 100%. And it's just like that hope and that like almost like rebirth of like falling in love after heartbreak. I think it's just like it's a perfect song to me. It's like it's so funny because I know it's like there's like objectively like to me like there's better written songs on the album, but like that one just like gives me the like the feels. It gives me all the feels, and I just love it. And it's what Levi said earlier, that like swelling on the choruses.
Oh.
It's like one of my favorite moments on the entire album. And then my number one, without a doubt, I think it's one of the best songs ever written, Silver Springs. And there's a reason that I literally like specified to Levi, like we have to do the Rumours with Silver Springs.
Of course.
But it's so interesting because like y'all mentioned, of course, You'll Never Get Away from the Sound of the Woman That Loves You. For me, the part that always gets me on that song is Baby, I Don't Want to Know. That always gets me. Baby, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Sit with that. Like sit like that every single time. Yes, Drew, do the hands. Do the hands, baby. Exactly. It gets me every time. And I think like Levi and Maria and Drew, you all hit on it, but it is like perfection in every single category. It is perfect production. It is perfect melody. It is perfect musicianship. It is perfect vocals. It's everything. Especially like Lindsey Buckingham coming in on the track at the end. It's the live performance where they are staring each other dead in the fucking eye. It's like genuinely, I think it is one of my favorite songs of all time and one of the best songs ever written. And I stand on the fact that if I was Stevie Nicks and they took that song off the album, I would also crash out. She's so valid for that.
I probably would have done worse than what she did.
I would have done so much worse.
Yeah,
She like
I would have
breaking
done worse.
crying. Like once again, like I would have crashed out worse than her, and she was very valid for that. And I'm so glad that it got its moment because she was right. Like that needed its moment. So yeah, Silver Springs forever. That's it.
Yay.
So we're split on our number ones. Drew and Maria both had The Chain.
Sure.
Irene and I both had Silver Springs.
We all matched on our Mies.
Yeah.
And then there was the three-way dream second place.
Place.
Wow.
We're also smart.
Whoa.
Look at us.
But then I like that, like, I like the two that Irene brought to the table that we hadn't, and then
Songbird.
Maria brought, well, no, I think all of yours were picked by other people as well. Right?
Yeah.
And then Drew had Secondhand News.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I had Songbird.
Wow.
Hey,
Utensils.
utensils.
Time to rate.
So we're gonna have our special guest, Irene Spatula, go first. Irene, what is your score for Rumours?
Yeah, I think I kind of mentioned it earlier. There and genuinely like I know that to your loyal listeners, this will be a lot of people's first impression of me, but I'm a very harsh critic when it comes to anything, when it comes to albums, when it comes to movies, when it comes to TV shows, books. But this album genuinely to me is a 10 out of 10. Like I think it is a perfect album. I would give it a 10 every day of the week. It's why I picked it to bring on here. Only 10 out of 10 albums for my pop girlies. So for me.
That's why we didn't do Billy.
Take that back. You know what? For the sake of the pop girlies, I did not pick Billy because Levi and I would have gotten into a screaming match.
I would never.
No, actually, Levi wouldn't have been screaming. It would have been me screaming at Levi.
That's what happens.
For everyone's
For context, I could say a sentence like 1989 is a great album. I love listening to it. And Irene will go, "You're a terrorist."
Yeah, because Levi, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it.
That's a story for another time.
I'm gonna practice my piece today.
Okay. I'll let Drew go last this time since he always has the pressure of going first for the reviews. Unsurprisingly, I'm also a super harsh critic, as we all know, but this is one of my sarcasm, satire,
I was supposed to say, girl, what?
satire.
I was like, oh, we're lying now.
Well, it is Lying Tuesday. That's the thing with my work friends. Shout out to Mia. On Tuesday, you have to tell a lie to celebrate. Lying Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, this is just a perfect record for me. It's one of my favorite records of all time. I have an emotional connection to it. I wouldn't change a thing. It's a 10 for me.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Maria Spoon.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go in at a 9.6. If
Great
that's a low.
score for Maria.
But yeah, I mean, it's like we've been talking. I mean, it's history. It's one of the most important albums of all time. It's incredible. It's not like personal lore for me. Like I just don't have as much of like a personal connection to it. And then yeah, I just kind of went with my gut on it. So
Awesome.
Okay, and then Drew Fork.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in an 8.4.
8.4.
Now, what would you give the Glee cast version?
A 10.
Well, Glee Cast didn't do the whole thing, but it would be in the nines.
That's honestly, you ranked it higher than I thought you were going to.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean it's her story. Like you
Right.
I mean, for me, I know it's low for an album like that. I mean, I think it literally has a 10 on Pitchfork, but
It does have a 10 on Pitchfork.
yeah.
So Drew
Well,
did kind of
I-
hold my hand tank.
No, I beat with Pitchfork. What do they give Torture Poets?
Oh,
bad.
it's like 6.6.
Yeah, I beef with them.
The same thing as Hit Me Hard and Soft.
At least you're not a Hosier stan.
Yeah, poor Maria.
Why you gotta bring me into it?
Because his
Why
Pitchfork
do I
scores are
love Hosier
horrible.
so much.
Why am I in it?
Well, yeah.
I love
That's
Hosier.
why I said, like, at least you're not a Hosier stan because that sucks to have to like watch Pitchfork derail his music so bad.
Why would they
Yeah.
do that? Or like, why would they do that?
Maria's trying to act like I personally attacked her because Pitchfork gave Hosier bad scores.
Well, I kind of just by default assumed it was shade at first, but
I love Hosier Maria. You need me on here more often. I'd back you
yeah.
up.
Well,
I
I've only done one
also
of his
like
albums.
him.
Oh, I thought you didn't like him. I thought that's where this was going.
No, I've seen him live.
I thought you were a ghost pitchfork writer.
All this time, Drew's perpetuating the hate. Okay, what's the
Cool.
score?
Okay, so the average score is 9.5.
Whoa.
Before
What's
Drew
your
gave his score,
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
well, that's happening. Before Drew gave his score, it was tied with Blue for highest.
Oh my God. Stop.
Is that your highest rated?
Blues are highest rated with 9.86.
Don't even do that.
No, that's
But if we would have just been us three and no Irene.
Yeah, if it would have just been us three and no Irene, let's see what that would have been. That would be 9.3.
Yeah.
that's crazy though, because that's like also Blue's like one of my favorite albums of all time too.
Yeah.
I loved that episode, you guys, by the way. Big fan.
Joni
That's
Crave.
one of my favorite episodes. I love it.
Joni Crave.
I any opportunity to listen to talk about Blue, I'm gonna take it. I remember where I was when I first started listening to it. I was in CVS picking up my
To
prescription.
Blue or the episode?
No, the episode. Sorry.
Oh, I thought Blue. I was
I thought you were
like,
talking about Blue. I'm
good thing.
Woo! Pop Girlies Impact. Pop Girlies Brazil.
No. When I first listened to the Blue episode of Pop Girlies, because that's more important.
Yeah, well, that's correct. Okay, well, Irene, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
For having me. This is so fun.
Oh my God, it was amazing. And then Drew,
Yes.
where are we going next week?
So next week, we are going to have friend of the pod, my best work friend, Melissa will be joining the group. And we will be doing, she is the biggest Lana fan ever. And I think she has a special name for the stans of Lana. So maybe we'll get her to name that in the next episode. But yeah, huge Lana fan. And we haven't done a Lana album yet on the pod. So we will be doing, I mean, her magnum opus, Norman
fucking.
fucking Rockwell. Yes.
Yeah, that'll be so good.
Yeah. So yeah, very excited. So tune in.
No, really not done a Lana album.
We haven't done a lot
No.
of them.
Oh
No.
my God.
And
That's
I mean,
awesome.
she's here with the she, I think, has been writing her dissertation on
For months.
Lana for months.
Oh, I'm excited. That'll be great.
So we are ready for Miss Melissa.
Oh, Melissa. Shout out Melissa.
So yeah.
Well, Irene, do you have a pun for us?
A pun?
Because you know how like we end every episode with, well, I gotta go do.
No, you go.
You got to go your own way.
Yeah, Irene, you gotta go your own way.
I am going to go to bed and have dreams.
Oh.
Stop laughing at me. You put me on the spot.
Girl,
I'll
we
be-
do it every episode.
I'll be honest, usually I don't make it this far to the outro.
Oh,
Usually I stop it after the utensil, so I didn't even know y'all did a pod. I'm a fake fan. This is why I'm number 2. This is why I'm number 2.
I'm
whoa.
Hey, at least I'm being honest, okay?
Oh my
I could've
God,
left.
that's true. Well, I gotta go listen to the wind blow.
Listen to the wind blow.
I gotta go run in the shadows.
All right.
Drew, did you do yours?
Yeah. I
When?
said you got to go your own way.
Oh, I thought you were helping Irene.
Oh, I thought, yeah, I
Oh.
thought that was on behalf
Oh.
of Irene.
Okay, well, no.
I don't want to
apparently-
know.
That's Drew. You don't want to know.
There you go.
Great. Oh, daddy.
Oh, daddy.
Oh, daddy.
Shanti.
Bye.